Alright, I'm going to show you how to remove a motor out of a 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. This is the 4.7. Apparently nobody puts videos on the internet about how to remove the 4.7, so I'm going to post mine on there. It may not be 100% perfect way of doing it because I'm not a mechanic, but who cares? If I get it out, that's all I'm trying to do. Put the other one in. As long as it works, that's all that matters at the end of the day. Alright, so basically this is the Jeep. What I've done so far is I've removed the air intake. As you can see, the throttle body. Took the air intake out mainly because I was removing the valve covers to see if I had dropped a rocker arm or something that was causing the initial knock on the motor that I was concerned about. Got that off. Realized it definitely wasn't a fallen rocker arm or any of that, which is common on these vehicles. It was a much larger and horrible issue. So crawled up underneath the Jeep. You got to do this. I mean, for the most part, you may find some people online that say that they're able to get up under to the motor and oil pan and all that without doing what I did. But honestly, it's just going to save you a lot of time. Go to Ace Hardware or somewhere like that. Get you $25 set of jack stands. Jack your Jeep up. Put it on jack stands. Okay. Reason being is you got to get your front axle to drop down. And as you can see here, make sure that my camera's. You got the whole front axle drops down, which gives you clearance, and you can get right up into where your motor's at. And in order to actually get up into the motor, I'm gonna crawl through here. Let's see if you can see. Where's my light? You can see. Turn the camera this way. The issue that was causing my knock was Mr. Broken. I have two broken rods. This one, and then this one up here, where you can just see the shininess of the crankshaft. Well, that rod completely just disintegrated to oblivion, and you can't. Because I don't have the light on my camera on, I'm not going to put it up in here for you to see. But when the rods broke, they took out the cylinder walls with them, so this engine can't be fixed. I guess if you wanted to go through the process of paying somebody to drill them out, maybe put in sleeves or something, you could go that route, but really it's just, that would probably, by the end of the day, through the rebuild process, cost you 3 times as much as what, if you do some good searching, you can find you an engine to replace it. In order to get clearance to all of this, I had to remove my Y pipes. Yes, again, you'll find people that say, yeah, you can get to it without doing it. I don't think so. I mean, I tried for like a day, and I couldn't get it done. So, anyway, lift the front end of your Jeep up. Remove your Y pipes on both sides. I was able to get the transmission bracket out myself once I got the front end lifted and had the clearance here. That where I didn't have to do anything else real crazy. The only thing I did have to do, which kind of sucked, is I did have to cut my exhaust pipe back there because where that thing was clamped down, I couldn't break it loose, so I cut it. But what I'll do is pop that out later with like a sledgehammer or something, and then I'll just re-weld it. Anyway, so as you can see, this is what it looks like. So my goal today, disconnect everything leading to the engine. Engine mounts, disconnect those, disconnect the engine from the transmission, and go ahead and pull it out. Well, I don't know if I'll pull it out today. It's really cold. I don't think I got time to do the whole thing today, but at least I should be able to get everything disconnected. I'll check back in once I've gotten everything disconnected and lets you know the progress. Okay, so getting back into the engine, I have removed the battery. Obviously, not a big deal. The battery tray sits here, kind of blocks a bunch of junk. Disconnected alternator, and here's the cable and plug that go with. On my Jeep, all these little plastic plugs here have gotten really brittle. So as you're disconnecting your plugs, be sure that, like the little push tabs, that you're careful with them. Don't get all crazy, because they may break pretty easy. And of course, if that happens, then you're looking at having to go in and clip and, well, you can hear and listen just to the plastic. So you're looking at having to go in and clip, solder, wire, all that junk. So be careful on that. Disconnected the radiator hose feeding into the top of the engine, which goes down into the water pump down in there. You need to disconnect all your coil packs. I mean, they got to come out anyway, because if you're going to use them in your new engine. So disconnect them, then go through, pop all your coil packs out. I've got to remove the fuel supply line into the oh shoot, whatever that bar thing's called. Forgot the name of it. But anyway, fuel injector bar, fuel injector rail, or fuel rail. There we go. And let's see, back here in the back, you can see this hose back here. Maybe a vacuum hose, I'm not sure. Pop that off. Other than that, on this side, I've got the power steering pump lines to disconnect. And I believe that's it on this side. This vacuum hose here. Get this going off to my throttle body. That's not a big one to do, no big deal. Pull this guy out of the way. I'll have to. Part of the reason for removing all these things is you gotta remove your throttle body and get all that out of the way, because you're not gonna be you're not gonna have clearance to get the engine out if you don't do that. So get that guy out. Coming over here on this side, coolant lines. Got to remove these down here, I guess, at the source. Looks pretty simple, just to unclamp them. Unclamp them back here. I got to remove the AC lines, which they're charged, so you can be, you know, every other person out there who disconnects them and blasts Freon out into the atmosphere. It's actually, you know, probably what most people do. I'm going to try to find somebody to come out here. I know an AC guy. I'm going to see if he can come out here and discharge it for me. Because, you know, I just want to do my part. Reduce my carbon footprint. Try to leave something decent for some other people later on down the road. My kids, things like that. But you do what you want to do. I don't, you know. I'm not the green police. Anyway, looking back here, had to disconnect this big honking wiring contraption, and it goes down in here too on the side of the engine. You can see that right there, and it feeds down. There's a plug down there that has to come undone. So there's a few more things that have to come off around the sides. Other than that, though, I mean, just undoing some hoses and whatnot, popping off plugs. The cool thing about these Jeeps is really, like, I mean, the plugs pretty much all go in one spot. They're laid out pretty nicely, and so when you're putting it back together, you don't have to be a genius to know where stuff goes. Last but not least, I'm going to remove the whole fan cover, and that looks like it could be interesting. I mean, probably not too difficult, but I don't think I'm going to take the radiator out. I mean, I'm sure most people would recommend it, but honestly, I'm going to try to get away without having to take it out. If I jack it all up or something, or if I feel like I'm about to mess it up, then I'll remove it. But anyway, I don't think. We'll just see as I get into it more and more what I have to remove to give myself clearance. But I think I'm going to go with those things. I may go ahead and pop out the AC dryer. I think that's what that is. Evap canister or something like that. Probably go ahead and pull that out because it seems to be pretty close to the engine. It might cause me some problems. But that's not going to matter. Once I discharge the engine, or once I discharge the AC and all that, that's not going to matter. Obviously, you got plenty of room over here. I don't think really any of this stuff is an issue. So, anyway, I'll check back in here in a little bit and let you know the progress.